Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit about King Pinyin here. She is an author, speaker, success coach, direct sales expert, talk show host, and a woman of profound faith. She has mentored and inspired many to reach their peak in life through her seminars, coaching sessions, leadership, and mastermind study groups. So, King Pinyin, actually, what's very interesting is your name.
Yes.
I
I
love
know
it.
you get that a lot.
I'm actually, yeah, I do get that a lot
Uh huh.
because a lot of people think I'm a guy just from my name, right? Not just King, but then King Pinion. So it
Yes.
sounds like a kingpin. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
And then I show up in high heels
yes.
looking like this.
Yeah.
And they go, wait a minute, is that you?
She's
Or
beautiful, guys. She's beautiful.
but I'm originally from Africa,
Uh huh.
from a royal family,
Oh
but
wow.
nothing like tea and biscuits.
Uh
It's
huh.
like the African kind of royal family. And I'm the first.
Mhm.
My parents wanted a boy
Mm.
because my it's been a boy, boy, boy for generations. And then I showed up looking like this. And my father said to punish me for the embarrassment, he named me King.
Uh,
So I have to explain why I'm called King every single day. And I do. He won.
but you know what? That's a beautiful name. I love it. And you have a new book out
Yeah.
because we want
Yes.
to learn from this millionaire experience life that you have.
Yes.
And the a young lady that was here right before you, she was saying that her question would be how she wants a mentor,
Hmm.
and that's the thing. Seek out a mentor.
You have to find someone who you admire.
Mm-hmm.
So coming up the ranks, I looked for people who had the qualities and the traits that inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
People that I wanted to be like. I'm talking about Oprah Winfrey.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do what she does. I
Mm-hmm.
felt she was a strong, powerful black woman who was moving and shaking the world.
Yes.
And so I wanted to follow her. So I started following her. I love Pastor Paula White. She's one of my
Mm-hmm.
mentors too, also in the book with me. And so you seek them out and you start to follow them. It's so easy to find a mentor today because of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So you can easily follow them on Twitter, on Facebook, or Instagram. And in a way, you sort of kind of get into their heads.
Yes.
Feel how they feel, see how they think,
Mm-hmm.
and try to copy them. And then eventually, many of them have books that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the best thing to do. Pick up a book because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be so hard for you to have access to Oprah or to have access to a Paula White or to a John Maxwell or to a Tony Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get access to them 24/7 from their books.
Mm-hmm.
Mama.
That's the easiest way to do
That's
it.
good.
Now,
Right.
unfortunately, most people tend to go with celebrity status.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to cut it. Because I like Beyonce, for instance. But what I admire about her, besides her music, is her work ethics.
Mm.
So I look at that side of her. But unfortunately, many young people tend to follow what they see, the show and tell, the stardom, the money, the fame, and things like that. That's not what you should be looking for in a mentor. You should be looking for someone whose life you can emulate
Mm-hmm.
because of the values and who they are as a person, how they live their lives from the inside out, as
Right.
opposed to the outside inwards.
Oh, beautiful.
That's
And
good.
so, just like she said, you can follow your mentor. You don't have to have a mentor all in your face per se, but if you have someone that is where you want to be in life, follow them on social media. Kingpin, hashtag KINGPINYIN on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. Get on there and like the stuff, okay? And
I want
she
you to
has,
slow that down, though. I want to get it. I got to write it
Yes,
down
you
myself.
need to get
say,
it.
Say it one more time.
and
Slow
her
it down.
book is titled Breakthrough: How to Build a $1 Million Business by Helping Others Succeed. So that is your mentor guide right there. Aya, I want to ask you a question. Is
Yes.
is she your mentor?
You know what? I am so blessed to say yes, she is.
Oh,
And you know what better way to get to where you want to be than to be able to be mentored by someone who has gotten there,
Ah.
right? Because you can spend years and a lot of frustration trying to figure things out yourself versus having someone who takes you under their wing. And so really tell young people and even people my age or older,
Mhm.
if you're not where you want to be, find someone who is where you want to be and get over yourself
Mhm.
and your ego and all of that and go and be of service to them
Yes.
yes.
so that in that process you can learn and they can sow into you as well. And I'm just so delighted she's going to be speaking tonight
Yes.
at the Shiloh Inn at 7 o'clock. And so for anyone who's
Yay.
really serious about being a millionaire, show up.
And you can see her in person and hear her in person as well. So come on out. You know what is really ironic? Last night I was actually putting together the flyer for today, to get everyone to come. And like you said, you want to have someone that emulates you. And I just want you to know today, Miss King Pinyin, that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And the word of God says you'll know the fruits it will bear.
Yes.
And actually, when I came here, it wasn't that long that I was here that I met Miss Aya, and I started tagging along. And she's been my mentor. She hasn't known it, but I get in her face, Aya, I have a new business now, anything I can do. And I follow her on social media, I get in pictures with her.
Right.
So it's just amazing. And then, here you are, her mentor.
Right.
I can't believe this is happening right now, actually.
It is happening.
It is happening.
Amen.
I mean, to the point where I used to look at her pictures on Facebook and say, one day I'm going to be able to interview her. I'm going to be able to oh my God, I want to cry.
Oh, that's so
God,
exciting.
that is
But
so
that's how
sweet.
it all starts. I tell people you got to have a vision. You know how you say, write the vision, make it plain on tables that they may run, who say it. That's in Habakkuk 2:2. And you had that vision of interviewing her. And look where we are today.
I know.
Everything starts with you being able to picture what you want
Yes.
in your life. But
Yes.
you first of all have to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where everything starts. That's how everything begins.
Yes. It just says a lot about you that, what you duplicate.
Yes.
The apple, the fruit. You can
And
see
you know
it.
what? I saw her on stage
Mm-hmm.
teaching in a room. Well, it was a convention. It's an arena with thousands and thousands of people. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this woman has so much power.
Mm-hmm.
Mama.
But not just power for herself. You could see that she wants to be a world changer. And
Yes.
she is changing lives. And I just said, well, I would love to be able to sit at her feet and learn. And I wasn't sure exactly how that would happen, but it was a desire that I had.
Yes.
And I can't believe it.
Oh my
When someone else was like, I'll go pick her up from the airport. I said, no, you won't.
I know that's right. I definitely understand. Okay, so that would be a great answer for those out there who are seeking a mentor.
I want to go back to talking about how to find a mentor
Mhm.
because many people want to, but to be honest with you, very few people know who they are.
Yes.
So you got to start by asking yourself, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very profound question.
Yes.
When I started asking myself who I was, it took me almost a year and a half
Mm-hmm.
to be able to answer that question. So when you ask someone who they are, they may tell you, I'm somebody's mom, I'm somebody's wife, I'm a pharmacist, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't know who they are. Like, who's that still small voice within you that knows why you were created, that knows why you came to this side of eternity? Who are you? And once you get clarity on who you are, I always say clarity is power. Once you get absolute clarity on who you are, your teachers will show up.
Mm-hmm.
I always say when the student is ready, the teachers will appear. But the teacher is not going to appear, meaning the mentors are not going to appear until you get clarity about who you are and what you want in life and why you want it. So I always say, who are you? What do you want? Why do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
From those three questions, you'll be able to know who to align yourself with and also who to not mess around with.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And how important is it to keep that visibly in the forefront where you can see?
Oh my gosh, every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I get up in the morning asking myself who I am. Who am I? I go to sleep asking myself, who am I? Because without clarity, it says people perish for lack of knowledge, right? And I always say people think it's just regular knowledge. People perish for lack of knowledge of who they are, the I am presence that's within each and every one of us.
Yes.
That's really the spiritual being that's taking us through this physical experience called life.
Mm-hmm.
So we focus on the physical, which is the outer, but the inner, the I am, is sitting there waiting silently for you to dig deep and get to know it. And once you know it, then your purpose unfolds right before your eyes. So it's I think that's why we were born, really, to get to know who you are. That's what that journey call life is really all about.
Yes.
To get to know me and why I'm here. Why am I sitting here in this room with all of you? Why are we here right now? Why are you listening to us right now? There's a reason. There's billions of people on earth right now and hundreds around Killeen. But why are you listening to us today? Why today? Why now?
Why
What has
now?
your soul been seeking? Why are you listening to us talk today?
Yes.
So it's a question for you who's listening and for all of us to maybe silence out, drown out the noise, the white noise, like I like to call it, and go to that still small voice.
Amen.
And what I see in people a lot of times is when you start answering that question of who am I, you absolutely, I think, are eventually going to have to link it up with who created you and for what purpose.
That's right. That's right.
And that's where your life truly has
Yes.
meaning. And what I see a lot in people is waiting for that big break, waiting for that opening. But in the meantime, right where they are, not maximizing what they have.
Yes.
And so I'm always telling people, first of all, even if you do identify that mentor, if you come to me and you're not doing anything, and every time I ask you a question, you have some excuse as to why you have not started where you are, I'm not bothering with you because you just that's what you do. You give excuses, and I'm not the first one to say it, but you can either have results or you can have excuses. You can't have both. So people need to start right where they are. And I'll be honest with you, if you're listening to this and you live in America, you live in a country that so many other people are trying to come to. So however wretched you may feel your circumstances are right now, they're still so much better than the vast majority of people in the world. And so we just need to look around and say, what do I have right now in this place that I can start using even as I dream of that next level?
Yes.
And that in and of itself as well, that whole process of pushing yourself is also going to help you better understand who you are, what your strengths are, and when you're ready and that mentor shows up, that mentor is also going to take you more seriously.
That's kind of sort of what we believe.
Yes.
They do not really want to be taught. It takes a lot to transform yourself from the inside out. And that's why mentors look for people who have what it takes. You know what I mean? Before I even give people access to me, I test you. And I do that because all of my mentors have put me through the test to see if I was, quality, if I was worth their time, because they're all incredibly successful people. And if they're going to spend 30 minutes with you or an hour with you, that's a lot of dollars. So you got to be worthy of their time. You got to show some honor for their time. But most people are not that way. So I'm going to agree with you. I think that if God can trust you with a little, he can trust you with a lot. And most people don't have a lot because they've not taken care of the little that they have.
And they have diamonds in their own backyard.
Right there. Oh my gosh.
Right
have you
there.
read Acres of
Because of
Diamonds?
Yeah, I
Oh my
got it from Earl
gosh.
Nightingale. I've
Oh
been
my
listening
gosh.
to him
Oh,
on
yes.
YouTube
Don't
for the
you love
past
that
month.
story?
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
an
Oh, there are
amazing
acres
story.
and acres of diamonds within all of us.
Yes.
When we say the kingdom is within, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, wow.
Like, you got to be able to bloom where you're planted first. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, we all have that.
Yes. Wow, this is happening. This is
Awesome,
happening.
ladies. Look here, let me chime in for a little bit here. This is awesome right here.
This
Now,
is
and man, when you was talking about why you're listening and understand why you're listening, I got to understand that same thing because I happen to be in the studio. I just happen to be in the studio, and I'm in awe, if I can be honest with you. I'm in awe with everything you're saying. I'm in awe in everything that you represent. And I'm also in awe of the fact that you're going to end up obviously flying back out of here, and I got a show, and I would like to have you on my show too. You know what I mean? Hello.
well, it's about the listeners. It's for the listeners.
It
Whatever
is for the
helps.
listeners, but I'm talking about we can bring the listeners in on Triumph and Praise so I can bring you on Triumph so they can be blessed again. So we got to
Absolutely.
hear more from you.
Absolutely.
For real, that's what
I
I'm
can
all
make
about.
that happen
We got to be. When you flying out of town?
tomorrow.
Ooh.
First flight out.
Okay.
I'm flying out tomorrow. I'm speaking in
I'll
Maryland.
definitely be in touch through Priscilla.
That's where I'm from.
Oh, you're from Maryland?
Yeah,
I'm
PG
co-hosting.
County.
Oh, PG County. I
Yes.
live in Howard County. I live in Clarksville.
Okay,
Yes,
wow. I'll be
yes.
out there for the holidays.
When?
December 21st.
I'm flying out. I'm speaking at a youth empowerment conference in Nigeria and Africa.
That's
where
how
I
she
am.
rolls.
Yeah.
Come on
That is
now.
how
I know,
she
so I'm gonna
rolls.
be gone.
So
I
it's
know.
amazing that she she was able to fit coming into Killeen into her schedule.
Seriously.
Yes.
Like,
And
I'm
let me
sitting
tell you
here
how
going,
powerful she is, because one of the things that I've seen in real leaders is they're decisive.
Mm-hmm.
And so literally the conversation about the possibility of her coming here, which I was just amazed that we were even having that conversation, started at like 4:00 that day. Mm-hmm. And by 8:30, her itinerary was set. And I'm like that. And she's a wife, and she's a mother, and she's a business mogul, and she's a best-selling author, and she has all of these things going, but it's just that decision. And she's going to come here. She's here, and tonight she's going to pour into whoever is willing to accept what she has to offer. And then she's going to be gone.
Now, can I ask, because I met you before, ma'am, and got your testimony when I met you and everything, right? How did y'all end up meeting? How did that association come about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you asked that question. So my background is law, and I'm also an author and have done well with that and all of that, and I speak and do training. But what I realized for myself, especially as I'm getting older, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a mother of 5. I was going to say I'm a wife of 5, but no, I'm a mother of 5 and a wife to just one. I know. But what I realized was that with everything that I was doing, I was trading time for money.
Mama.
And there's only so much time.
Yeah.
And my kids want my time, and my church wants my time, and my husband wants my time, and I need some time for myself. And I said, but I have all these dreams and goals and things that God has put on my heart that need resources. So how is that supposed to happen? Because my parents didn't leave me a trust fund. And so, how is that supposed to happen? And so I joined a business, and she happens to be one of the leaders in the business.
Wow.
Like way up there.
Wow, amen.
And through that business opportunity, I've been able to bring in additional residual income into my family with unlimited potential, just depending on how much effort I want to put forth. But the additional blessing that I didn't even look for initially when I was going after, let me create a residual income, was having a mentor at this level who has accomplished what I want to accomplish financially, who will actually say, let me show you the systems so that you save yourself time, frustration, effort, all of that, and you get results in a quicker, amount of time. And so that's how I was able to link up with the amazing King Pinyin, and I'm very, very grateful.
Amen.
And the business we're in is called 5 Links.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, outstanding. That's what I'm talking about.
That business totally put me on this path.
Oh, wow.
Flying here, I was thinking about how one decision can change your life forever.
People would break a leg and a neck. People would die trying to come to the United States of America. And yet, there'll be broke Americans. I could never understand that when I got here. Because see, in Africa and all over the world, we try to come here. In our minds, we think that money flows on streets in the U.S. How many of you watch Coming to America? Like, I literally thought that when my plane landed in JFK in New York, as soon as I walked out, money was going to be all over the streets for me to pick up and go back home after 6 months. I figured if I gave myself 6 months, I could collect $1 million from the streets and go back home and live happily ever after. But guess what happened? I came here, and for 6 months, I never saw a penny on the floor. And I remember saying one little prayer before I walked out of that door. I said, Lord, I came here to better myself. Don't ever let me lose sight of that. See, my father wanted me to be a doctor, because back home, for an African man to have a doctor's child was a thing of prestige. So my father thought I was smart. He wanted me to be a doctor. But in that plane, I said, in whatever form that my blessing was going to come to me, I just want to be able to live in abundance. How many of you in here want to live in abundance? How many of you in here are currently struggling? Because everything suggested to the contrary. I could not afford to take care of a child. And when my son finally came, it was a nightmare. My father ended up coming to this country to take my 1-year-old child. Me and Sonny struggled just to get him to a point where he had all his shots. After the 1 year mark, my father came and took my son to Africa. And he said, when you guys find your feet, I'll bring him back. In the middle of Dallas airport, I was stunned. Watching my son go through security at 1 year old with my father. And my husband stood there crying like a baby. We had a 2-hour drive back home. Not one of us spoke to the other. I was lost in translation. I didn't even know how soon we got home that day. We just got home. And I had to get out of the car. I was stunned. I was dazed. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Where you feel like your back is totally up against the wall. Like, you know, sometimes when you fail, it's okay. But when you send your child home because you can't afford to take care of it, I think you fail on a national scale. That's how I felt. And I remember that night saying to the Lord, Lord, if you show me something that I can do, if you just show me something, I guarantee you I'm going to do it. To this day, I know that I had to come to that place to discover the greatness.